Hi kids, it's Bunny with another junk journal, and as usual, if this runs out before I'm finished, then I'll make a part 2, unless I'm at the very end, in which case I probably won't bother. But today it is a rose-themed journal, and it features a lot of roses, of course. It's a hardback cover with a pretty fabric covering it, and it has a lot of fringe in this one inside also, and it's held together with a pretty pink silk sash, which I will take out now. That yellow thing is just my helper that I prop the book on. Let's look inside, and let's adjust the camera. All right, and as we can see, it is lots of pink. Inside we have a pocket with journaling cards. Journaling cards are blank on the back, so you can journal on them, as are the tags, which we will see later. They are also blank on the back. Here's a little miniature envelope in which I have some vintage foreign stamps and a note about this journal explaining how the journal can be used for those unfamiliar with it. The pretty graphics, excuse the camera, I hit the camera. The pretty graphics are from Little Crafter's Helper on Etsy, and the graphics in many of the tags, like this one, the background graphics are from Uwaza Design on Etsy also, and tags are blank on the back for journaling. And more pretty ladies with pretty roses, which you will see all throughout the journal. I know this isn't exactly on camera. And also throughout the journal you'll see genuine pieces of ephemera, like this one, which is a letter to a client from a manufacturing pharmacist from 1919. And as we move on, we have a doily, we have pages from a rose book. Here's some vintage ephemera from United Drug Company. I keep hitting the camera, I'm sorry. This is I think it's a 1920 receipt. And here's a little fabric ruffle. This is a page from an American Girl magazine from 1949. Here's a vintage photograph of a jolly looking wedding. Don't know what year, but it's, you know, vintage. Here's some vellum with pretty pictures on it. There's some ledger paper. Here's the cover of some sheet music. Johnny Doughboy Found a Rose in Ireland, featuring Danny Kaye. I remember Danny Kaye. Do you remember Danny Kaye? Here's a little bag. Inside of it is a vintage photograph of some guy and some statue whom he seems to be very friendly with. With whom he seems to be very friendly. Let me say that properly. And here's a page out of a gardening book. Here's a vintage Creole cookbook. Very old. Some more journaling cards. Aren't they pretty? And here's a tag that has a pocket on the back of it with a little journaling card. Little surprises all throughout. Little stampings and clusters and all sorts of little things you'll discover. It's another cluster. More from the Creole Cookbook and the other old books. Here's another little bag, and it has some vintage foreign postage in it. This one's from a United States consulate in Mazatlan. I don't know where that is, and I probably didn't say it right. More sheet music, and a little flip on that ledger page. Here's some more vellum. Here's another vintage photograph. A couple proudly showing off their snowman collection. I'd be proud too. And here's some more journaling cards, more vintage ephemera, painting and paper hanging receipt. 1918 is the date on this one. I put lace on the edges. I have some coffee stained pages that have a lace design on them. I forget where I got that from. I'll try to remember to credit it down below. And here's a lace pocket. Am I still on camera? Lace pocket with a little vintage ticket. More journaling cards. And yeah, you know what it is. Tag. There we go. That's the word. I put some fringe throughout this time. I thought that was cute. More journaling cards. Here's something from Crew Electric Plant, 1919. I believe it's electric reading. And another tag. Lots of room on the back for writing. More from the 1949 Girls magazine. More vintage sheet music. Here's some more pretty journaling cards and a tag. Here's a pretty lace dyed, coffee dyed envelope that flips open, and inside is this wonderful cabinet photo of this elegant lady. And it becomes a tuck on the other side. Here's some vintage wallpaper and some fabric swatches with roses on them. I know I'm going through quickly, but this camera doesn't last long. Here's a vellum pocket with some pretty journaling cards and a photograph, photograph of these two lovely ladies, and a tag. This one has a pocket behind it with a tag in it. Well, here's a little bit of a sari silk fabric with some beading on it. And then this tuck, this cute girl and dog, and fairies, and a vintage envelope. Appears to be German. Don't know the date. I can't tell. And here I did some texture paste, rose pattern. And here in this lace pocket, side pocket, I have a miniature journal with miniature ephemera, little pages. And here's some more, a little vintage miniature envelope with vintage foreign postage inside, and more journaling cards, and a tag, as you can see. Here's more vintage ephemera, more magazine and book pages from the past. It's a lady and her baby buggy, vintage photograph. In this pocket are some journaling cards and a tag. And this is from a S&H green stamp brochure, probably from the 50s, something like that. It's a fabric, yeah, fabric. And here's some vellum with a pretty lady on it. My mind's not working today like it ever does. There's some more pretty cards and a tag and a vintage photograph. Very interesting fashion choice. I like it. Here's a big side pocket in which I have a couple of large journaling cards, beautiful pictures, and another small notebook that you can journal in. Here's another vellum pocket with pretty ladies in it and a tag. I'm having trouble reaching the book today for some reason. Another small envelope, and it also has vintage postage, foreign postage in it. I have a lot of vintage foreign postage. Did you notice? I think I'm falling off of my helper. That's my problem. Come here, helper. There we go. So professional. Oh, here's a little flip. Flip, flip. More vellum. Here's a pretty lace pocket with some rather dour looking girls. And this is a bigger version of the picture on the cover. One of my faves. Ballerina. And this is a page from a vintage Singer sewing machine manual. Probably early 20th century. In this little bag, it's a little journaling card. More of the Vintage Girls magazine. Lots of vintage pages in here. And in this vellum side pocket, pretty girl, another pretty girl, and a vintage photograph of a group. I believe this is a school of some kind. And here's some more journaling cards featuring pretty ladies with pretty roses. And here's another tag that has a card on the back in a little pocket on the back. More foreign stamps, vintage wallpaper. Here is a piece of sari silk embroidered with sequins. Just a nice big swatch of the fabric. More journaling cards. And a tag. And this is another vintage envelope. War Crimes Defense Division. Okay, I wonder what that's about. And here's a lace pocket with a journaling card and a little envelope. And of course, more vintage postage. It's rather hot here. More vintage music. And as we get near the end, there's some more journaling cards. And a last bit of ephemera vintage postcard. And we get to the end. And in the back pocket, we have some pretty journaling cards. This lovely lady has my stamp on the back. And that's it for this journal. I hope you like it. Come visit my Etsy shop, Treasure Journals, and learn more about it. Thanks. Bye-bye.